Homeschooling is a big decision, and once you've decided to homeschool, there are more decisions to follow. But I do want to encourage you that homeschooling gives you so many opportunities, and it gives you the opportunity to teach them about the things of the Lord, and also gives you the opportunity to nurture a desire to be a lifelong learner. Hi, welcome. My name is Rachel. I am a homeschool mom of 4 boys, ages 10 to 20, and I've graduated too. I have a 5th grader and a 10th grader this school year. And today I just want to encourage you about making the decision to homeschool and just some thoughts and some things you will definitely need to plan out and think about. But I do want to encourage you with homeschooling, there is going to be so many things that will fill your heart and mind, but not all of that has to be done in 1 year or decided it in 1 year. But I do want to share a few things with you that I think will be important to help you get started. And for our family, we really pray about things, and we've been homeschooling. This is our 15th year, and God led us to it. We have no doubt about that because we really prayed about it, and we know that God led us to do that. And something else that is very important is that you know your state laws. And for us, HSLDA is a great place to find some answers, or maybe you know somebody that homeschools in your community, but I would definitely still double check to be sure through HSLDA or through your state what the laws are to help settle any questions that you might have. Also keep in mind that each state is going to be different, and for the requirements for each stage, elementary, middle school, and definitely high school. So another important step, and sometimes it's overlooked or skipped, and that is to really think about what your family goals and vision is for homeschooling. I will be honest, when we first started homeschooling, I didn't completely understand that. All I knew is that God had led us to homeschool. And over the years, I have written down different things, and I'm going to share with you what I wrote down this school year. Okay. In our homeschool vision, I have a paper here in my homeschool notebook, and in the front it says, in our homeschool, we strive to give the desire to learn, to explore what is in question, but to review what is academic. I also wrote down, our goal is to lead and disciple our boys to have a personal relationship with the Lord and to have a good relationship with their family. Also to help them nurture their love of learning. So just some thoughts there, and it may be different for your family, but just writing a few things down just to encourage you on the way. And I will also mention, and this is one of those things that you don't have to overwhelm yourself with this school year, but as the years go by, you probably will want to write down some goals for each child because they may have specific things you need to work on with them that year, or some goals that you want to reach with them, and writing them down and keeping them all together in a notebook and reviewing them every once in a while as you're making out plans will help you. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, and I almost feel like this is another thing that could change, so don't overwhelm yourself completely with making a final decision if you are just starting out with homeschooling. And no, it is not curriculum, but I will spend a few minutes on this subject, and it is deciding on your method or style of homeschooling. Maybe you have no idea what that even means. And when I first started homeschooling, I did not. I just picked a curriculum and started. Okay, some popular methods will be your traditional, which is sort of like a classroom setting. You also will have Charlotte Mason, and that is more of a relaxed, with more hands-on, more narration. And then you'll also have like classical, that will probably be more, they have specific goals to reach in each stage, like your grammar stage. And I know there's more memorization. I'm not completely familiar with all the stages, but I have read up on them a little bit in the past. There is also eclectic, which is really a mix of a lot of different methods. if all of these concepts are new to you, I am going to highly suggest a book that really helped me not only understand all the different methods, but also to understand my children's learning style and also to figure out how I wanted to teach. And that is a book by Kathy Duffy. It is called 103 Top Curriculum Picks. And originally I had the 101. So it's been a while since I have looked through this book. I did pick it up at the library last school year just to sort of review it, and also I have another video that talks more in depth about choosing curriculum, and I will link that below. Like I said, at the beginning of the book, it talks about the different methods and then the different styles of learners. And then it gives you an assessment type test that you can take to see where your child falls into. And then it also gives a list of all these curriculums and what type of learner they will fall under. And that is really helpful when you have several children that have different styles of learning. And also it will sort of give you an idea if this is very teacher intensive type curriculum or if it's more independent. So it gives you several things to think about when you're looking at that curriculum. Now, do you have to pick one of the curriculums out of that book? No. But it will narrow some thoughts down when you are looking at curriculum and questions to ask and think about for your children. So I really encourage you to look into that book. And also on her website, she has a lot more reviews for all curriculum, not just her top picks. And what kind of method do we use? More of an eclectic type method, I would say, over the years, and a little bit lean towards the Charlotte Mason style. I feel like we are a little bit relaxed. And by that, I mean that I will choose a curriculum, but I'm in charge, not the curriculum. I also always want to give my boys the time to discover and cultivate their own interests. So that is part of how we do it. Because I really truly believe that God has a purpose and a plan for each of them, and it's going to be different. And they need time to discover different things that are interesting to them and maybe questions that they have. And it might be sometimes things that you are teaching or they are learning in the academic part, but a lot of times it's outside of that. So I am relaxed, but also structured, because I do feel like it's important to teach them responsibility throughout this journey and to let them know there's consequences for wrong. And as they grow, you will appreciate that you have taught them these things, because you are not only raising this child, you are raising the next generation who is going to possibly take leadership and be in charge. And we just want someone responsible and that can be understanding to other people's needs. All right, so like I said, a lot of those decisions are something you'll have to make sure you understand now, like your laws. And you may definitely want to have some type of vision, some type of goal written down, even if it's just a sentence that you know that this is what God wanted you to do. And that will help you focus throughout the first year, because I may not know what I'm doing, but I know that this is what the Lord wants me to do. So even if it's just one sentence for that first year. And deciding on which direction of a method you want to go. And I really do highly suggest that book just to help you narrow down before you take this next step, and that will be picking some curriculum. And there are so many choices out there. I feel like there's so much more out there than when I first started. And just keep in mind, as you are beginning to homeschool, you just need to pick your core subjects. There are so many eye-catching, fun extras, but work on your core subjects and then you can add in some of those extras. But curriculum is something you definitely are going to have to pray about and ask the Lord to guide and direct you. And as I am thinking about curriculum for next school year, I have been praying about which direction He wants us to go with different things. Just keep in mind that you are not going to be able to teach them everything over these years that you are schooling them. But like I said earlier, you have the opportunity to teach them about the things of the Lord and also to cultivate that desire to be a lifelong learner. That is so important when you're homeschooling. So when you're thinking about the decision of methods and curriculum, and you are working on the academics, make sure throughout the day that you give them opportunities and times to explore and to discover their own interests. All right, I just really hope this was helpful and encouraging. And just remember, it's 1 year at a time, and you can change things up as you go along. All right, I appreciate you all watching this. If you do have any questions or comments, please comment below. I will also link a couple extra videos about curriculum and maybe some other videos about homeschooling that I hope will be helpful. All right, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and we will talk to you again soon.